Hey, what is going on, everybody? Kyle here, breaking down the age group semifinal workouts for you, give you some tips and tricks potentially on how to navigate these workouts on your first try. We're going to have sort of 4 days to do them. Not full 4 days, but like 3.5 to get these done. 5 workouts, 5 tough workouts. So we're going to want to be a little bit strategic on how we plan these. Reminder that you can test the workouts, obviously leading up until Thursday or Friday, whenever you're going to test them. But there is a password that's going to be provided via email, so current tests don't count, or you can provide an example of the time. They link a website in their initial email. So any workouts that are obviously done today through Wednesday or even Thursday morning aren't going to count, but you can test them out and try and figure out some early strategies on these workouts for you for when your actual attempts end up going. So ordering with these is a little bit tricky. We have 2 workouts that are meant to be pretty fast and or central nervous system demanding. And then we have a couple other workouts that are very similar fatigue substrates leading into them. One of them, number 2, doesn't have a ton of mixed fatigue going into it. Outside of there is some pretty heavy pulling in it. But there's a lot of pulling in these workouts. So we're going to probably run into some fatigue substrates regardless that are pretty similar. So we're going to try and order these a little bit more towards developing some good central nervous system tones rather than what we might see conflicting wise. Now, workout 2, we're going to treat as a little bit more of a kind of recovery component. Well, you are pulling pretty hard on the rower and it could kind of lead to some lat fatigue. If you have good mechanics and you can push with those legs, you'll mitigate a lot of that lat fatigue in that extra little pull there. It'll give you the opportunity to kind of recover that pull a little bit, actually. As well, you should be kind of cruising at a set pace on that one until kind of that last round is when you really turn it on. And honestly, that last bar is where it's going to get, the round of 15 will get nasty, and then that last row is going to get pretty gross. But that last bar will be pretty heavy by the time you get there, especially with how you're going to be breathing on that one. So that's kind of the concept that we're using to set up these workouts. So what we recommend is either doing 4 or 5 first on Thursday if you have the availability to do that. And then on Friday morning, doing one or the other. So if you do 5 first, you're not going to run into the barbell cycling fatigue that 1 has. We're recommending that you do 3 last since it has the most reps in it and is the highest likely workout to tear in. So 3 is probably going to be last. So either 4 or 5 first. If you do 5 second, you're going to run into some fatigue with that barbell cycling first or with that barbell cycling in the morning. 1 we recommend doing on Friday evening. 2 Saturday morning, and then 3 obviously Saturday evening if possible. So we recommend 2 a day. Now there is there's a lot of variance in this, and especially depending on how you're feeling. You could move one of these to Sunday, so you don't have to do double. You can move one of them to Sunday. But you're going to have to do 2 in one day to get these done. So what we think is probably the best option is do heavy Isabel number 5 on Thursday. Friday morning, do number 4. Friday afternoon, do number 1. Saturday morning, number 2. Saturday afternoon or evening, number 3. And then that leaves Sunday open for possible retests. Now you can kind of float some of these if needed to Sunday based off of how you're feeling after some of them. Obviously, fatigue hits a little bit different with masters athletes. So kind of depending on how you're feeling, you can kind of rearrange these. But we definitely recommend that central nervous system tone be the priority for this. And then use or just wait until to do number 3 until that fatigue is kind of, or so that you're not at risk of tearing your hands or just getting wiped out entirely by that workout, because it is a pretty tough workout. So, all right, now when we're getting into the strategies for these, we're going to break these down in order, 1 to 5. So number 1, we're just looking to go singles on those cleans and use this time to recover. You can do a little bit of a rush out and maybe do a touch and go rep for that round of 2. But just staying consistent on this one is going to be the key. And sorry, what this workout is many round MRAP in 10 minutes of 1 clean, 1 bar muscle up. After each round, add a rep to each movement. So singles on the cleans the whole way. And then the bar muscle ups, what we're looking at doing is trying to break those up into sets that we know is manageable. So in your training, like, you should have an idea of good, consistent sets that you can hold for 50 plus reps of bar muscle ups or 30 plus reps of bar muscle ups, whether that's 3s, maybe that's doubles, maybe that's 5s, something that you can hold and just kind of jump up on the bar and knock those reps out. So if we're looking at being able to hold 5s, we're repping singles, and then we're going, we're probably going to start breaking up into 2 sets at around 3. So we're not just going 5-1. So 3-3, we can mitigate some of that fatigue. And then we're looking at, after that, probably going like 4-3. And then when we get into that round of 8, we can get 5-4. Or 5-3 or 4-4, but that first set, we're always looking at holding whatever. After we get kind of like past the round of 8 for the 5s, we're looking at holding that 5 and then consistently chipping away from there. So if you're doing 3s, probably starting off breaking things up on the round of 4 into 2-2, and then 3-2, 3-3, 3-2-2, 3. 3-2-1. Yeah. Is that? Yeah. 3-2-2 for the round of 7. 3-3-2 for the round of 8. 3-3-3. And then maybe 3-3-2-2. So we're never looking to exceed that max rep range of whatever it is we can hold for those consistent reps. So don't exceed that rep range. Try and just break it up smart so you're never exceeding that rep range. Probably not leaving 1 bar muscle up in the tank either, because that's where that first one is always the most challenging, just because of your ability to get into thoracic extension is a little bit harder without that momentum of coming off the bar. So probably not trying to leave 1 rep in the tank. Obviously you can, especially if you're just trying to rip singles at the end there. But that's kind of how we're looking to attack this workout. Is just get your set, never go above that set, and just chip away consistently at this one. All right, workout 2. So this is probably going to be the least demanding workout. Our big thing on this one is knowing our pace on the rower. So this is roughly around 2,300 if you're a fast rower as a guy, to 2,800 meters on the rower, especially for the ladies. So it's going to be a kind of a wide range of row. And it's a lot of that depends on how hard you're pulling, right? Calorie pull, a harder pull for a calorie equates to less meters traveled. So we're gonna list kind of 2 paces here and give you guys an idea of what that is for your 500 meter average. So we have 1050, and that is a 159.7 average. So you guys can kind of come up with some pacing structures based off of that. And then 1250, we're kind of labeling this one for guys as a 148 average. If you do get up into the 1400s, that's a 142.8 average. So some things to keep in mind there. Since we do have some fatigue with those shoulder to overhead, we're probably looking a little bit closer to that 3K-ish pace, maybe a little bit slower than that if you guys have tested a 3K before. So it's going to be a little bit slower than that 2K pace, about 3 to 5 seconds slower per 500 meters on your 500 meter pace. So you guys can kind of do some math on that. You can obviously find some calories per hour per pace per 500 calculators online. If you know what your pace is for your 3K or your 2K, and calculate that out. Now we can kind of ease into that a little bit as well. So you can go negative splits on the rower, knowing that that heavy bar is coming up and we don't want to completely gas ourselves on that front end. So we can go hit those negative splits on the rower. Start off a little bit slower, get into a little bit faster. That will leave you a little bit more fatigued for that heavier barbell. So keep that in mind if you are trying to negative split this one. Our goal on this one as well is to go unbroken on that barbell. The first load's pretty light. That round of 15 is where it's going to get real gross. But in this workout, dead time is not being on the rower. So we're going to need to make sure our transitions are fast, and then we're just on that rower moving. You can use the first couple of calories to kind of recover, and then you can use on the back end the last couple of calories to settle in and be ready to attack that barbell. So just kind of make sure you know what your pace is before you start. Don't come out too hot on this one. This is an easy one to crash and burn on, so don't come out too hot on this one. Know your pace and just be diligent about holding that, especially for the first and second rows, because those are going to feel okay. It's after that 15 bar that this workout's going to get real gross. All right, moving on to workout 3 here. This is probably going to be the most demanding workout, just because of how many reps you guys are doing on this one. We got 90 upper pulling reps, and then we got 90 toes to bar. So there's a lot of different fatigue that's going to come in this one. So we have 180 upper body or 180 movements on the bar. So make sure that you guys' hands are super protected for this one. Especially if you have to do this one earlier in the workout for whatever reason. You do not want to do the rest of these workouts with torn hands. So that's why we're recommending doing this one last. Just because those hands are going to be pretty raw after this one. You can also chip away at this one a little bit better than you can, or if needed, especially with the extra fatigue, and still put up a pretty good score on this workout. So something like quick 5s on the pull-ups, consistent on the burpees, and then quick 5s on the toes to bar will allow you to move through this workout at a very, very consistent pace. And then obviously just try and stay as unbroken as possible and as fast as possible on those handstand walks. For the 14 through 17 and then 35 through 54 divisions, they must be 15 feet unbroken. So you guys are gonna have to make sure that you have the space to be able to, that's less than the 25 that you did in the open. So 15-foot sections, 55 to 64 can do it in 5-foot sections. So the way that I'm reading that is that the 14 through 54 have to do it unbroken. Definitely double check on that one, and just make sure that I am correct on that. So, but yeah, sorry. Quick breaks on this one. I think there's going to be a lot of variance on this for people that are pretty good at gymnastics movements. You're probably going to be able to do something like 12, 10, 8 for each movement and get away with that, 3 sets on that, or sets of 10. We also have to keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of compression fatigue going from those burpees to the toes to bar. So a lot of people might need to treat this workout as a 20-minute MRAP versus a 3 rounds for time workout. This is, 90 burpees, 90 pull-ups, 90 toes to bar, coming in off of a lot of shoulder fatigue already. So those are kind of some things to think about on this one. Compression and grip fatigue are going to be huge, especially going into those handstands. Like, your grip is going to have a lot of time under tension on this one. The only break it's really going to get is during those burpees. So now that is a decent amount of time of break, but we've got a heavy bar that's going to fatigue your grip. We've got another kind of pulling workout in workout 1 that's going to fatigue the grip. We've got a rowing workout that's going to fatigue the grip. So your grip will be pretty tired. And honestly, it's going to be tired throughout the course of this weekend. So I think that small sets on this one and just consistently chipping away at it is the route to go. But obviously, there's going to be some variance in ability levels and just kind of when you do this during the weekend as well. So, all right, workout 4. So this is a very fast workout, 150-foot dumbbell overhead walking lunge, and then 50 alternating dumbbell snatches. So that is a single arm dumbbell overhead walking lunge as well. So we got this is a 7-minute cap on this workout, so it's a short workout. That 150 feet is, you're going to have to turn around and be pretty quick on it. I would change arms because you do have the alternating at 75 feet. If you're going to change arms, you don't necessarily have to. We're going to try and pull that dumbbell down to the ground on those alternating dumbbell snatches. And then the box jump overs, they're step downs. So just practice a good cadence on those and figuring out how to best jump up, step down, jump up, step down. But this is definitely a fast workout that you're just going to have to be diligent about moving on. Those lunges are definitely going to start to hurt towards the end, but just make sure you're moving fast and you'll start to slow down, or your legs will start to recover when you get into those dumbbell snatches. So, yeah, speed, pull that dumbbell down. Probably a little bit of a cant towards the box rather than a complete lateral. You can clear the box. There might be something to that if you have kind of a smaller box. Just trying to laterally clear that box so you're not spending any time on top. Maybe could be something you could do. Probably play around with that. Obviously, you have a couple of days to get this workout in, so you can definitely mess around with this one, especially. It's not super demanding on the body. You can recover from this one pretty quick. So, yeah. And then we have the last workout 5, which is heavy Isabel. A lot of different weights for each division. 35 to 39 has 145 to 215, 40 to 49, 125, 185, 65 plus is 75, 105. 14 and 15 and 60 and 64 have 85 and 135. And then 16, 17, 50 to 59 are 105, 155. So a lot of different weights on this one. Each workout does have some specific kind of like variable for each age group. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that. For the, like in the last workout for the 55 plus, you got a 20, 35 pound dumbbell, and then you can step up to the boxes as well. So, there's a lot of different variations. Sorry, I was just looking at 55 to 65 plus division has plate walks and the handstand workout. So a lot of different variations there. But this last workout, this is just a barbell battery workout. Your tie break is every 5 reps. So, I mean, really this workout is just being smart about pulling that bar, keeping in the back of your mind that you got 30 reps to do. Don't come out way too hot out the bat. Everybody should have had some sort of barbell battery work built into their training. So, you should have a good idea of how to pace this. So, for example, like when I was competing, I could handle 3 reps pretty quick, and then I have to back off. And then I could come back, handle 3 reps pretty quick, and then I have to back off, handle 3 reps, back off, handle 3 reps. So for me, it was always 3 reps at a time, back off, let the heart rate come back down, attack the bar for 3 reps, back off, let the heart rate come back down. Some people are just good at setting a pace on that bar and just consistently pull. This is definitely a workout where you can just be like, okay, 1 rep, I'm pulling the bar 1 rep every 12 seconds or something like that, or 10 seconds. You can definitely set a pace based off of, a time on the clock. 1 rep every 12 seconds, 1 rep every 10 seconds. If you're real good, 1 rep every 6 to 8 seconds. There's a lot of different variation inside of that. I think working on the clock gives you the best ability to just be consistent, and then you're just in a rhythm the whole workout. You're just in a rhythm. So, but yeah, that's kind of our breakdown of these workouts, guys. Let us know if you guys have any questions. If you need any help, please reach out. These are just a wide range of kind of like our initial thoughts on the workout. This isn't specific strategies for every athlete. This should just get you thinking about how to pace this workout, and then you should be coming up with specific strategies for you. There's a lot of variation. If you guys haven't listened to our pacing talk, also we talk about your job in these qualifiers is to race the clock, not to race other people. So doesn't matter what other people are doing. You can't affect what they're doing. In a live competition, you can affect what they're doing. You have a little bit of control over that, not a lot. But in these online qualifiers, you're racing the clock, so you're just trying to put up your best score and let the chips fall where they may. So keep that in mind, guys. Reach out if you need help, and we're looking forward to seeing how everybody does this weekend. And good luck.